Hey everybody, I've got a fun little strum pattern I want to share with you today. I call this one the blues muted strum. So obviously we're going to use it in the blues and we're going to be doing some muted strumming. So there's a couple of things to do to get to this. It can be a little complicated if you just try and dive right in. So I'm going to break it down a little bit to kind of help out. At its core, the pattern is just a series of down ups and then occasionally adding some mutes in. So let's go ahead and start off by looking at what the basic pattern is. It looks like this here. We're just doing a series of eighth notes with down ups. So notice I'm doing it without swing first. We'll add the swing in later as one of the steps. So just even eighth notes, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now I'm using an A7 for this chord today. You could use whatever chord you want, but the idea is to practice with that right hand on a single chord so you can focus on it exclusively. So first off, once you've got those down ups, that's usually the easy part, just getting the down up motion going. Next step, what we want to do then is we want to add in the swing rhythm. Now this is one of the little harder parts if you've never done much with swing rhythm. Blues or jazz swing is where we take eighth notes and we do not play them evenly anymore. We play the first one a little bit longer and the second one a little shorter. So what that means for strum patterns is the down is the first eighth note and then the up is the second one. So we want to hold the down and then the up. So it's going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So sometimes that takes a little bit of practice to kind of make that, it sounds contradictory, but make the swing rhythm even. Let's say it's make the swing rhythm consistent. But the important thing is when you do the swing to help out, again, hold the pick down or hold the hand down and then the up. Some people kind of do this, okay? We want to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so again, step 1, all eighth notes, down ups. Step 2, add the swing rhythm. Okay, so step 3 is adding in a muted strum. Now the muted strum is denoted with the X here, and those go on counts 2 and count 4. Now when you hear it, it sounds like I'm smacking or slapping the guitar, getting the strings hitting the metal fret wires. That's not what I'm doing. You can hear that's what that sounds like. This sounds different. Okay, what we're trying to do is get kind of a percussive sound. Now, how we do that is we actually rake the pick on the down strum while touching this part here, the side of the hand on the string. So you notice my hand is almost in that position, and you can't see it, but my hands are just floating lightly above the strings, of course, when I normally strum. But on that count 2 and 4, I actually do it kind of simultaneously. So if I do it slowly, 1 and 2. So essentially what I'm doing is doing a down strum with my hand touching the strings here. When you do it fast enough, it sounds like kind of a hit. So we have down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute. If I'm counting it out, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, let's insert a top-down angle and see if I can get a little bit better angle and show you a little bit more what the right hand is doing. All right, here's the top-down angle. Let's see if this gives you a little bit better perspective on what I'm doing with the muted strum. So again, with the muted strum, my hand, or when I'm strumming, my hand is pretty close to those strings already. So just normal strums. Then when I do the mute, again, it kind of comes down as I strum. I'm touching almost simultaneously. And that's where I get kind of that hit sound. But it's so fast, I'm really just doing that, but it's just very quick. And again, it takes a little while to get kind of a nice, consistent, so it sounds very similar or consistent every time. But this angle should help you a little bit understand what the beat is trying to accomplish. Okay, so now, once you've got those steps down, and don't be afraid to practice each of those steps a bunch of times until you get each step good. So just doing the down ups first, no swing, then add in the swing. It's real important to be comfortable with every step before you add everything in, and finally the mutes. And don't be afraid if your mutes are a little bit inconsistent. It's taken me a while to, and I've played this thousands of times to get a nice consistent sound. Putting it from there. This sounds great on the steel string. It sounds great on the electric as you're putting that together. And then when I go to play a 12-bar blues, all I need to remember is that pattern is 2 mutes per measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then go to D7 in this case, back to A7. And I can play a 12-bar blues with that. I can technically do any chord, but quite commonly I'm doing in the key of A with A, D7, and so on and so forth. And I'll include a PDF in the description with a 12-bar blues that you could follow this along with. All right, so there's the blues muted strum. Hope you enjoy that and hope you have some fun.